Welcome back. Today, a side dish that's bursting with flavor. Erica Schlick is the author of The Wandering Palate. Here she is with a recipe for oven-baked yucca truffle fries.
Cassava is one of the most underrated starchy vegetables, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a delicious oven-baked truffle cassava fry recipe. And cassava is also known as yucca, and it's a popular root vegetable in South America, also in Southeast Asia. But one scary little fun fact about it is it's actually quite high in cyanide when it's raw. So there's a couple different things I'm going to share with you to show you how to safely process it and remove all the cyanide, making it a delicious and easy root vegetable to incorporate in your diet. So this is what the root vegetable looks like. I've gone ahead and cut it open, and you can see that it has this waxy coating on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and just trim the edges of it off, and we're going to use a peeler to peel the waxy coating off, and it comes off fairly easy. It's just like peeling a potato. And once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and cut it into bite-sized pieces like our French fries. And what I've done is I've cut it in half, and then I've cut them into thin wedges. And now the trick to remove the cyanide is we're going to go ahead and boil this for about 10 to 15 minutes, and you'll know it's ready when the edges of the fries start to fray a little bit. Now, if you weren't cutting it into fry shapes that are so small, you would want to boil it for much longer, say even an hour or so, to make sure you get all that cyanide out. So let's go ahead and cut these up, and we'll get this boiling so we can start getting into our fries. Boiling the cassava is very easy. We'll fill our pot with water and add a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of sea salt and bring it to a boil and add our cassava. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to boil, and again, make sure you're looking for those frayed edges. And our cassava is done boiling, and as you can see, the edges have really started to fray on here, so that's when you know it's ready to pull out of the saucepan. And I've gone ahead and strained it and rinsed it and patted it dry and put it on a parchment-lined baking sheet here. So now we're going to turn these into fries, and so I have about 3 tablespoons of melted coconut oil here, and I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And I'm just going to use a whisk, get this combined very quickly here, and we're going to go ahead and use a pastry brush to put this on our fries now so they can get a nice crispy coating. And I like to do the first side first, and then we can go ahead and flip them over, and we can put the oil mixture on the back side. And once this is already coated with the oil and the garlic mixture, we're going to go ahead and put them in our oven at 425 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes, and I do recommend flipping them over about halfway through just to make sure that they get nice and crispy on both sides. And after that, we're just gonna pull them out of the oven and put the last few ingredients on, and these fries will be ready to enjoy. And our fries are now out of the oven, and I've gone ahead and transferred them into a bowl, and they're nice and crispy, and some of them are a little crispier because they're a little smaller, but they look absolutely perfect. So now we're going to put the finishing touches on this. And so I've got some Parmesan here, and this is completely optional. If you're dairy free, you don't need to do this, but if you do include dairy in your diet, it can really give it a nice salty flavor. And then I have some fresh chopped parsley as well, and we're going to go ahead and put most of it on there, but reserve just a little bit for the end. And I've got truffle oil. Now, you want to make sure you use a high quality truffle oil, because one that has a good olive oil as a base, and so not so much like a canola oil or things like that. So you don't need to go too much, especially if it's a high quality one. And that's it. We're just going to go ahead and use a spatula. You can actually use some tongs, it's even easier that way. We just want to toss this, get everything coated in the Parmesan and the truffle oil. And we'll go ahead and use the rest of that parsley to top the top of it, and I like to put a little dash of sea salt as well just to give it a nice little crunch. And that's it, your fries are ready to enjoy. And you can have these as a great side with a steak or grilled meat, make them as an afternoon snack. They're absolutely delicious, grain-free, a healthy paleo starch, and a great alternative to potatoes. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. You can get this recipe on my blog, thetrailtohealth.com, and you can also find more healthy and delicious recipes in my cookbook, Wandering Palate, which is available on my website and Amazon as well.